The most physically demanding scene would be an episode 4 when I'm in the toilet, because I was in there for like 14 hours.
Tomato frittata scene
Yo, yeah.
with Giancarlo.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
I love that one. I feel like that would have been so fun to do.
Yeah, it was a fun day with him for sure.
And Maddie, I wanted to start with you. Your character had quite an ending to the last season and then starts out with another really intense start this time around. Do you feel that your character is getting just kind of beat up nonstop as this goes? Like, is it rewarding with all of the intensity that happens physically for your character, coupled with all of the emotional stuff that you get to go through?
Yeah, it was really rewarding. I don't know how rewarding it felt for her, but for me, it was really fun. It's always a nice, rewarding, fulfilling sensation to do something that's challenging. And I think that, you know, we have an amazing crew, amazing actors, and there's not a lot of things that I find are like too difficult with the show when it comes to like acting in it. And so it's because I don't have to do any stunts or anything like that.
And Asa, for you, this is a lot more for your character as well this season compared to season 1. What would you say was the most challenging thing that you went through filming this season?
It was very different because you're meeting a very different person. So I think that a lot of the kinds of reactions that Sam had and the things that he had to learn, which were very volatile and expressive and difficult, I think in this season he's really trying to get away from a lot of those things and almost show people how unaffected and different he is. And that kind of leads into a very different level of self-discovery and a very different journey, which is much more about, you know, becoming an adult instead of, you know, trying to be a person in the first place. So, you know, it was, I guess what was challenging about that was that it was just so different, you know, and making that as realized and full as possible is always a challenge, and it's a lot of fun because of that.
And Lizzie, this entire ensemble is fantastic, but I love your character so much, and I feel like anytime you're speaking in this series, it's just unfiltered, unvarnished truth coming from this character compared to everybody else. Sometimes people are, you know, they're saying things in a particular way, but it never seems to beat around the bush when you're saying it. Do you feel a connection to this character in any way compared to other roles that you've played in your career?
Yeah, I do. I love her. Sometimes like listen, like it was a crazy season this season. I mean, for example, like Andre was the first person that ever believed in Emma. Like Chance was that to me. So this season like was much more impactful in that way. And I mean, Emma is my container where I can be so messy in a way. Like I can take all the parts that I'm necessarily insecure about and just like put into her and somehow form this like really complex individual. So yeah, I love her, and she's a little pinball and she's exhausting to play at times, but I love her. Yeah.
And for the sequences where, you know, you seem to have a lot more special effects work with your character because of all the obvious size differences, was there one particular shrink scene or moment that you think was more challenging to film compared to the rest? Like maybe the, I don't know, getting thrown around into balls of liquor, was it something like that? Or
No, I was thriving that day. Can I tell you how privileged it is that the beer cup was heated? They
really?
Did not. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But the most physically demanding scene would be an episode 4 when I'm in the toilet, because I was in there for like 14 hours climbing that. I have like a behind the scene video, and all the water was getting into the backpack. So I'm like using all my body weight, and you know, you kind of lie to production. You're like, yeah, I can swim. And then you swim for 14 hours. You're like, I'm so out of shape. So
That's a lot of hours.
No, it's so many hours. But yeah, Emma, tiny, like, I just love when she's tiny and big. There's a good big sequence in episode 2 when she's high on drugs that I was very amused at myself when I did it.
Derek, with you this season, this character for both you and London, this character has grown a lot more. I like this character even more this season than in season one. There's a lot of emotional resonance going on. Derek, I wanted to ask, is there any particular scene that London got to play that you wish you had gotten to do instead?
Oh, that's good.
That's a good
That's a really good question. That scene with Asa.
Yeah.
I do wish that I was in there with Asa, with my buddy, with my best friend. But I got to watch it. I came to set and watched it is so good. And I'm watching it like, raw, uncut, no editing, and it was so fantastic. Both of them were so fantastic. And then seeing it like edited together was so good. But
It made me cry.
It did. It was so sweet.
When I watched it. It really did.
Because it was like
Yeah.
it was so great. They both did a fantastic job. But that is one that I wish I had
Yeah.
for sure.
And London, for you, the same question in reverse. Is there a scene that you wish that you had that Derek got to do?
I mean, the scene, the tomato frittata scene
Oh yeah.
with Giancarlo.
That's fun. That was really fun.
I love that one. I feel like that would have been so fun to do.
Yeah, it was a fun day with him for sure.
That's so wild because in my head, you're both in all of it.
Right.
Like I know I'm there and I know who I'm doing the scene with, but in my head, you're both doing all of the scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't even really think about that.
In London, there's a scene in the second episode, like a really emotionally intense scene that you deliver where you're thinking back about Andre and everything that happened and the impact of that. Was that a really challenging scene to pull off? I imagine with just the context of it for the character is challenging, but how was it like filming that scene?
Yeah, that whole night was hard. It was akin to the end of episode 1 was a very important scene. I think Jaz and I both felt was an important scene for Chance and for the story. So I think we took a lot of care with it, but I also think we did that all day. That was an all day scene, and really hard. And I made the mistake of not checking when my coverage was. Which is something that's fun to do. And so the whole time, which honestly I'm glad I didn't, because the whole time I was doing it at as best as I could 100% every time. And it was exhausting and it was hard. But I think that scene was so important.
And Jaz, for you, this season has so many reveals and things. Obviously, I don't want to spoil anything here for people, but your character gets to grow and learn a lot more than ever before. Do you think that the path that you've gone in this season compared to season 1, is there anything that you see maybe this season was more challenging for your character compared to season 1, or how do you feel about how you grew through this season?
Yeah, I feel like the moral dilemmas are a bit bigger this season. Like, I think in season 1, it was just like, it was really hard to learn that everything that I thought was true was not true, right? But then, like, in season 2, I feel like I'm challenged in a different way of like what is right and what is wrong. So I think that that's probably a bit harder, maybe.
We think of superheroes and on those series like The Boys, they're in the costumes, they're doing those very big set piece type of action moments. Do you play these characters with powers differently when they're in a school setting, even though there's still action going on, but they're in suits, they're in regular attire? Does that change how you channel these powers?
I think so. I mean, I think that when you're wearing a suit, that's an obvious kind of entertainment value thing. You're a commodity. I mean, they wear these suits in the Vought universe as a way to make money and to gain power and influence. It's not it's not a thing of like, hey, I'm trying to serve the people. It's like they're really taking from the people. And so I think the suit kind of is a symbol of corruption in a lot of senses within the Vought universe.
Yeah, we don't need suits to be super.
Yeah.
and Hamish, for you, I've talked to other people in this genre in other, straight on superhero type roles where they say, I'm not playing this character as a villain, I'm playing him as a human being or as a person. Is that kind of how you approach Cipher, that this is a person who has certain beliefs rather than playing him as a bad guy, let's say?
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier if you know that the guy thinks that if he accomplishes his big objectives, that everything's gonna be better. I mean, he thinks he's doing it for the betterment, at least of his race. and probably for the world as a whole. And while that's obviously real bad, at least it isn't in his mind. That makes it easier to play that.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.